Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge.
All I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with a topic many people like. New, affordable whiskey. Yes, new and affordable whiskey. Yes. Let's give a clap just for that. Hey, this day and age with everything, prices going up, it's insane. I just spent $100 today filling up my car, regular car, with gas. So prices are ridiculous. So the fact that we have new affordable whiskey, as long as it's good, I am good with that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we have, this is the new brand, or sub-brand, I should say, the Kentucky, with an E, County sub-brand, coming from 15 Stars. So if you think of 15 Stars, this is one of their core products here. This is their blend of 7 and 15-year-old whiskey, their fine age bourbon. And they have a lot of other products as well. But when you think of 15 Stars, what comes to mind? So a couple things. Number one, this brand was started a while ago, I think like 6-7 years ago, by a father and son duo. So Rick and Ricky Johnson, father and son. What's really interesting about 15 Stars is that they are an NDP, so a non-distilling producer, so they source whiskey, but then they also contract distill from Bardstown Bourbon Company. Oddly enough, and I didn't plan this, BBC right here, Bardstown Bourbon Company. So they are truly both. Most times companies are either an NDP or contract distill. They happen to do a little bit of both. So they source their whiskey from multiple places, but then they also get some of their whiskey produced for them from Bardstown Bourbon Company via the whole contract distilling process that they have. So that's really cool by itself. But this is actually, these two, I should say, are their brand new sub-brands, the Kentucky County and Kentucky with the E. Do love the branding. So both of these, I should say, first and foremost, brand new releases. These are commemorative bottles. The bottle design, they are pretty badass. I have to give them credit for the bottle design. Very nice. When you think about this sub-brand and you think about just Kentucky County, Kentucky with the E, probably wondering, Judge, what does that mean? So let's go back to, we'll do a little bit of a history lesson here real quick. Go back to 1776. So in 1776, many people may or may not know, but Kentucky, present-day Kentucky, was actually a part of Virginia. There was a Kentucky with an E County that was also a part of Virginia. Fast forward 16 years later to 1792. In 1792, Kentucky County and the rest of Kentucky became its own state. So they're really kind of paying homage. 15 Stars is essentially paying homage to the original Kentucky with an E County and the whole, birthplace of whiskey, etc., which is really cool. Again, I love these, the bottle design. I'm hoping that the whiskey inside of both of these are equally as good. Fair? All right. So let's go ahead and dive into the brand new Kentucky County whiskey. We have two different options for today, which I'm happy about them both. We have the Kentucky County 6-year straight bourbon whiskey. And we also have the 12-year American whiskey. So we got a 6-year bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon, and a 12-year American whiskey. Both of these, again, are paying homage to Kentucky. And more important, this is the 250th anniversary of America, right? We started back in 1776. Count 250 years later, 2026. So they're also paying homage to our country, the 250th anniversary of the U.S., which is really cool. So, hey, shout out to 15 Stars. I love that. All right, let's dive into their whiskey. I'm going to start with, these are both, by the way, 90 proof. So both 90 proof, but I'm going to start with the bourbon. So Judge, what do we know about the bourbon? So this one is so from an age statement, is aged 6 years. And they say a minimum of 6 years because it is a blend of two different Kentucky bourbons, right? A blend of two different Kentucky bourbons. But even though they're saying some of the whiskey in here might be a little bit older, you always, from a label standpoint, have to put the earliest aged whiskey on the label. So age 6 years is the minimum, but they're saying there is whiskey in here that's older. So age 6 years. Again, it is 90 proof. Now let's go back to what I talked about earlier. The price. Affordable whiskey. Yes. $38. Yes. So a 6-year product, aged 6 years, $38 from an MSRP standpoint. That works for me. Definitely works for me, for sure. Now, 90 proof, so we'll see how it is from a nose, palate, and finish standpoint. But hey, for a deli sipper, $38, aged 6 years, with even a little bit more from an age standpoint in there, with some older whiskey potentially, that's not bad. But let's see if the quality of whiskey matches itself. All right, let's dive into this one. I poured them both so they can kind of open up and air out a little bit. All right, so both brand new releases, probably going to be slightly harder to find initially, but I'm sure down the road from an allocation or being able to find it ease standpoint, I'm sure it'll be a little bit easier once it's out in market. These are truly brand new releases, literally. All right, let's get into the nose. Here we go. Ooh, that's nice. So I will say from a nose standpoint, it's very sweet. This has like layers of, I like that too, by the way. Very much like apple, pear, a smidge of like a cinnamon note to it there as well. So apple, pear, a smidge of cinnamon, a little bit influence of oak, a little pepper. Way more like fruit, sweet, and more like softer fruits. Not like your stone fruits, more like apple, pear kind of a note. A little honey, smidge of cinnamon, smidge of pepper in there as well. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, hey, real quick, before I dive into this 6-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Blend, 3 quick, easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know, what are your thoughts on 15 stars, just in general as a brand, right? I don't see them a lot in my neck of woods, but when I travel, I do see 15 stars. So let me know, what are your thoughts on 15 stars? Last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right. Cheers to 15 stars. Here we go. That's nice. Clean. A little, the beginning of the palate, you get a lot more of the fruit. Toward the mid end of the palate, the fruit actually drops off a little bit. You get more of like the pepper. That's interesting. So more fruit in the beginning, more pepper in the end. Let me get another little sip just to make sure that all stays the same. Very nice. Clean. The finish is here, and then it kind of falls off a little bit quicker than I would prefer. But for a $38 bottle, for like a deli sipper, it's actually not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let me get one more sip. It's bringing me back. It's bringing me back. So it's obviously good enough to at least kind of bring me back, which I like. Get another little sip real quick here. All right. So same thing. So it's consistent at least. The fruit is here, the beginning of the palate, and then toward the mid end of the palate, the fruit and the finish, it goes away really quickly. It turns more into like a peppery kind of a note, and the finish is super quick and just kind of fades away. So I wish the finish was a little bit longer, but it's not bad though. It's not a bad pour, especially you have to remember, this is a $38 bottle of whiskey, aged 6 years, a really actually nice deli sipper. But let's go ahead and move over to the American whiskey. I'm actually going to give you 3 separate judgments. So number 1, this one's going to get a verdict. Number 2, the American whiskey is going to get a verdict. And then number 3, I'm going to tell you which one is better. Fair? All right. So now we are moving over to the blue label, the American whiskey. So this is the American whiskey. So it's aged 12 years. Now this one is a blend of, whiskey distilled rather in Kentucky as well as Indiana, right? Where this was a true Kentucky straight whiskey blend. This is actually whiskey that was distilled in Kentucky and Indiana. Cool thing about this American whiskey. Wow, nice nose, by the way. Damn, really nice nose. The first 7 years, the whiskey was actually aged in bourbon barrels for the first 7 years. And then the last 5 years, it was aged in brand new American oak. So that's kind of cool. I like how they did that. First 7 in bourbon barrels, and then the last 5 years in new American oak. So I like that. Same proof, again, 90 proof. Wow, the nose on this is nice though. I like the nose on this one. Definitely a little bit more than that one. Price standpoint, still very budget friendly, which is cool. You think an American whiskey aged 12 years, from a price standpoint, MSRP, $20 more than that bad boy. 58 bucks. Still very reasonable from that standpoint, especially for a 12-year-old. Not bad. Even with being 90 proof, right? Just keep it real. Even with it being 90 proof, that's still a really good proof point for a 12-year-old age-stated product. So, all right, let's dive into this nose real quick. So this has a lot more, which I like. A lot more oak. A lot more leather. Smidge of brown sugar. But more leathery than it is brown sugar. It's a lot more like leathery. Leathery, oak, very woody. I like that though. Wow. I like that a lot. Not a ton of fruit in this one. Yeah, a lot more oak, a lot more leather, woody, just very much like a kind of like a almost like a dusty kind of a note to it in a way. This is really nice actually. This nose blows that nose out the water. Not even like the same category. Different products too, right? All right, here we go. Cheers again to 15 stars. Congrats on your new releases. Cheers. Ooh, now that's nice. That's very nice. Clean. Ooh, nice. Clean. Tons of like the leather. The oak comes through in the palate. This to me sips definitely even actually higher than 90 proof, which is very interesting. It's probably the age element of it because it is age 12 years. All that being the saying that the first 7 years was in, ex-bourbon barrels, but the last 5 in brand new American oak. This sips a lot. It actually sips a lot higher from a proof standpoint than the 90. If I sip this blind, like not knowing, let's say Mrs. Judge poured this for me, I probably would have guessed this is closer to like 97, maybe even 100 proof. Let me get another little sip on this one real quick. I like it. I like the leather. I'm a big fan of leather, especially like in a whiskey. This I think would be really good with a cigar because it's not overpowering. The mid in the palate, it kind of stays. It actually holds its own for a 90 proof American whiskey. It holds its own. Like I said, to me, this definitely sips higher, like 97, maybe even 100 proof. Wow, this is really good actually. So this is the kind of bottle where this one here, you can probably sip this one all night. That's probably the key difference of these two. This one, you might want to use it as a mixer or the beginning of the night. Where this one here, you can actually sip it the entire night. This definitely does not sip like it's 90 proof. Forget I said 97. This sips closer to like 100 proof. It has a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more depth, a little bit more character. That is really good actually for a 90 proof 12-year-old American whiskey, only $58. So these verdicts are pretty simple. If you say Judge, first and foremost, is this a buy, a do not buy, or a split decision? For me personally, I'm going to give this one, honestly, probably a do not buy. It's not that it's bad. It's actually not bad at all. To be crystal clear, right? No shade to 15 stars. It's not bad. It's just not very memorable. And for $40, there are some other bottles on the market that I think you can get for 40 bucks that are slightly better than this. But I would say it's not horrible. So if you want to try something different for a daily sipper, you can definitely do so. I just don't think it's at the same level of quality of some other $40 bottles that are out there. That's one thing, right? That's one thing. As an example, Wild Turkey 101, $25, $26 would truly, honestly kind of blow this out the water, right? So I'm not kind of just comparing it only to Wild Turkey 101, but just giving one example. Now, when I go over to the American whiskey and I'm giving it a verdict, I'm going to tell you, yes, this is a buy. I think, honestly, 15 stars did a fantastic job with this one. At 58 bucks for a 12-year-old American whiskey that's 90 proof, but in my opinion, it sips closer to 100 proof. I think this one is actually really, really good. And I'm going to enjoy this absolutely with a cigar. Nice job, 15 stars. So obviously the third verdict of which one is better, of course, this one here, the 12-year-old American whiskey. Wow, 58 bucks. That's a good deal. That's really good. Hey friends, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most important, salute. Take care. See you guys.